Hi, Michelle.
Tell us who you are and what you've been doing lately.
Name Bruce Douglas, and I have um, been working with Paul Delorier to create the Maui Community Investigation.com website, which we're trying to put all of the uh, forensic information together in one place. There's 50 different categories of investigation, trying to do our own citizens investigation that's open and looking at all the possibilities of what happened. And I've been studying weather patterns for 15 years now, where I have been looking at all the hurricanes and major weather events to try to understand how weather engineering happens and is done. And I happen to be saving the screenshots of Hurricane Dora when the fire happened. And then when I looked afterwards, I discovered some anomalies that would look like there was weather engineering involved. It has all the signs and symptoms of what engineered weather looks like.
Well, go ahead and share those. I'm gonna send you some pictures that I think also should be on there
Okay.
around understanding that weather modification is real, including a patent that I'll share with you in a moment.
High resolution screenshot that happens, and this is the August 5th, the fire was on the 8th, and you can see normal cloud patterns around Hawaii. This is the afternoon of the 5th. Here's the morning of the 6th. Again, twice a day, there's a high resolution shot of the entire planet. And this is the Hawaii version where it comes around and takes a high resolution shot. 7th, afternoon 6th looks good. But on the 7th, we start seeing the clouds making wave patterns coming in lines, like ocean waves coming at us all lined up. And by the afternoon of the 7th, it was totally pronounced, very unusual, not like I've seen this where wave after line of cloud comes as a wave. And what's even more curious is that the clouds don't go, these wave pattern clouds don't go past the Hawaiian Islands. They stop right at the Hawaiian Islands
Wow.
and don't go past it. I'm going to back up and look at the morning of it as well. And you can see the same pattern there where it comes right up to Hawaii and then doesn't go past it. And you look to the north and south, the same pattern happens. And normally you'd see them, they just pass right through the Hawaiian Islands and keep on going. But I've never seen this pattern of lines perfectly lined up like that in a perfect line before after 15 years of looking at weather satellite images.
That's
Um,
crazy.
so here's the morning of the 8th. It's still in lines. Now remember, these are different times a day, so you don't always see the same thing with different things. But then the afternoon, you see the total lineup of clouds coming at us, and for some strange reason, Maui got blacked out. Now, sometimes these black lines like this do happen across the satellite images, has to do with something about how they take it, but it's curious how exactly when the fires happen, Hawaii is blacked out. And you see the wave patterns in the afternoon of the 8th, and we had these, on the North Shore, like, sustained force 25-mile, 30-mile-an-hour winds. And for some strange reason, concentrated on the other side of the island. And here you see the morning of the 9th, it goes back to normal cloud patterns again on the 9th. So we're looking at is the 8th, 7th, these line of clouds. Now, what would have done it? It almost looks like someone's creating a wave generator and creating wave after wave of cloud. So let's look at the infrared video loop. These are infrared satellites. Infrared sees things as heat or reflectivity. And this is Hurricane Dora off the coast of Mexico, forming right here and starting to spin. And it's colorized, so the more extreme concentrations of clouds or colorations are exaggerated in this. So you can see where there's concentrations of clouds. So here you see it's forming off the coast, and it appears to be a natural hurricane to me. I don't see any aerosol injections or anything else happening with it. And then it spins up into a nice tight little hurricane like a natural hurricane would do, and stays at 10 degrees latitude, which again is what natural hurricanes do. They don't veer off of 10 degrees latitude because that's the shear zone of the toroidal field of the planet. And you notice to the north of us, there's a cloud bank of solid clouds moving along the trade wind direction, completely unaffected by this spinning right here. The clouds are not doing anything unusual in this big cloud bank. But at this point right here, as it comes in line with the Hawaiian Islands, you start seeing this anomaly of this clouds glistening and vibrating and like a frequency generator on it doing all these things, and the clouds break up and they start forming lines and patterns. And you can almost see, like in this point right here, where there's a frequency generator pounding those clouds and creating that whole effect. And then it goes on its merry way past the islands after the hurricane. So let's look at this part again right here a couple times. And you can see, I hope it comes through on your screen, but you can see the wave patterns and something right about here, you know,
Yeah.
generating that wave pattern becomes very pronounced right here, where you can see right here where there's some sort of equipment
Ripples.
out there, ripples, creating the ripple effect and making it happen. And I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen clouds before like break up and go into patterns and line up and make that sort of glistening happen. That's a new phenomenon I haven't seen before. So the question is, how do we have the technology to do something like this? The answer is yes, we do. Was this used in this particular case? Well, the evidence shows that something was, you know, likely used out there to generate these crazy winds. So HARP is one of those various things. We have the HARP dome, which lives in the Honolulu harbor. Here's what it looks like. Yeah, so this is about weather modification. This is a picture taken in Honolulu harbor as this huge barge comes in with this big dome piece up on top. Now they want to tell you that's some sort of X-ray communication system that they spend $1 billion on for the military. What's inside of this is HARP. It's an ionospheric heater that's able to take huge amount of power. You know, there's huge capacitors and generators here in order to hold power, and aim this into the ionosphere to heat it up. And when you heat up the ionosphere, it excites the molecules, the ozone layer in the ionosphere, and it actually rises up high. And then if you turn it off, it'll suddenly come down, can make a low pressure boom down below. It's Tesla technology. He understood ionospheric heaters, and he actually created one of those right, you know, in upstate New York, aimed at the ionosphere, heated it, dropped it, started creating a 5 hertz frequency down below, which he understood that 5 hertz frequency was the frequency of an earthquake, and actually made a minor earthquake happen in upstate New York, where earthquakes never happened, as a little proof of point. And this device could be out there shooting at the ionosphere and heating it up, and then suddenly turning it off so it drops back down, because when you heat it, it rises up. And
in 1934, it says this headline on the front page of the New York Times read, Tesla at 78 bears new death beam. The article reported that the new invention will send concentrated beams of particles through the free air, which Bruce was talking about, of such tremendous energy that they will bring down a fleet of 10,000 enemy airplanes at a distance of 250 miles. And that is what I'm going to have him this is on standtogetherhawaii.com, you guys. This is the stuff that's on standtogetherhawaii.com. So go ahead, Bruce.
Yeah, well, Tesla not only understood ionospheric heaters, but he also understood basically directed energy weapons, you know, where you can concentrate plasma energy. So it's not laser, it's not light, it's actually frequencies and energy patterns. Yes. He understood frequencies and energy. And he actually was competing with Einstein about creating the nuclear bomb. And he said, no, this is more concentrated. Let's use the death ray to stop World War II. And Einstein and those gangs said, no, we have the nuclear bomb. Let's do it this way. And he ended up winning. And we ended up going that way. Well, now circling back around, the military is saying, hey, this is cool technology. We'll steal this one too and use it for nefarious purposes. So, you know, do we have the technology? You know, whether it's from a satellite, a plane, or a drone, yes, we have all three devices. They exist. We have them. They're able to send plasma or microwave, laser-guided microwaves, or plasma energy down. There's different types and classes of these weapons, and it's very easy to start fires.
I just sent you a couple of links. Check your email. open the video that I said, please share. This is an act in Congress in 2016. This is from congress.gov. Direct energy weapon systems. I'm going to read the second line. Direct energy weapon system means military action using focused sound, electromagnetic, or particle beam energy to incapacitate, damage, or destroy energy equipment, facilities, or personnel. The bill redesignates DoD's High Energy Laser Joint Technology Office as the Joint Direct Energy Program Office. So they have an office for this. So I just wanted to show people this stuff is real. And this was in 2016 was when this act happened. And this one is a US patent, microwave transmission using a laser generated plasma beam wave guide for microwave transmission using laser generated plasma beam waveguide. And this was a patent in April 23rd, on April 23rd of 2002. And this was the inventor is Jed Margolin, and he's actually in San Jose, California. Okay. So I just want to show people that this is real. This stuff is no joke. Look at the patent number, the date of the patent, April 23rd, 2002. This stuff is being used right now. And then, yeah, that's it right there. So microwave says microwave transmitter. And so go ahead and go to the next link that I sent you. This is an act of 1976. And it is for, and I'm going to read it on my end. So if you want to scroll down a little bit. So it says, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but the enrolled bill would direct the Secretary of Commerce to conduct a study which would, and there's a bunch of things that it which would do, but its main thing is a review and analysis of research efforts and needs in weather modification technology. This is a policy act of 1976. You guys, they've been studying the weather and how to manipulate it since the 50s. And this is an act in 1976 that passed Congress, approved October 13th, 1976. And then if you would go to the Morpheus, the last one. If you're on here, if you're watching this, please like, subscribe, and share and comment to help me with the algorithms. They don't boot me out of here. Scroll down to the second to last, the next picture right there. Right there, yeah. Morpheus is a reusable multi-engagement loitering tube launched interceptor equipped with an onboard seeker and a compact high-power microwave effector to execute non-kinetic defeat of drones. So this is talking about non-kinetic, which means that they can, but this is the one that Donna was talking about. So this can literally disable other drones in the area, but they have this capacity, and this is from Lockheed Martin. And I just wanted to show people, because people are like, it doesn't have to be from space, you guys. It can be right next door, like Bruce Douglas was saying about the HARP technology. And then the very last link, and this one blew my mind. I can't remember who shared this with me. And then, so I'm just sharing this so you guys know we're not pulling this out of our booties or anything. So check this out. This is all on standtogetherhawaii.com. Defense Technical Information Center. And I'm just going to say it is right where Forest Service, Washington, D.C. Oh, there it is. Title. Look at the title. Forest fire. And then after that, there's the word. I'm trying to be careful here because I don't want the YouTube Nazis to boot me out of here. When I read this, I was like, oh my gosh, this is scary stuff, but it's stuff we have to know. In this report, primary research attention has been given to the flammability characteristic of jungle growth in tropical and monsoonal climates where forest fires seldom occur naturally. But it's basically talking about significant military damage can be produced by forest fires of lesser intensity. And you can actually view at the very bottom, you can view the full report. It talks about how to use this against whomever. So it says classified changes unto unclassified secrets limitations. Approved for public release, distribution is unlimited. Click on that link. It says approved for public release, distribution is unlimited. So I'm just breathing. We all should just be breathing. I know this is a long video, but thank you for sharing. You can take whatever you want on it, pop it into your TikTok or wherever. Please share this information. What our job is to contact our legislative bodies and tell them no more of this. And we need people to stand up. StandTogetherHawaii.com has actions for us, everybody. But right there, too, approved for public release. This is no joke. Final report, June 1970. So very interesting, huh, everybody? Super, super interesting. And so I just want to say, Bruce, any other things you want to share around this madness?
Well, we all know this worldwide phenomena of fires happening simultaneously in multiple places.
Yeah. You want to
and
take off your screen share?
yeah,
Thank you so much.
we we noticed that in Lahaina fire of what was it, 2016 or 18 or something, where there were like 6 fires that started simultaneously during an alleged hurricane time, with high winds that fed it. And it was a similar sort of situation, like a precursor to what we saw here. The brush fires happened. What was different on this brush fire is they managed to get the wind to go from the mountain to the ocean. So they're able to start the fires up in the brush area, and then by having the winds coming down the mountain to the ocean, it distributed itself, across broad areas of the brush fire itself. Now, I found 2 ignition points alongside of the highway. You can see for yourself as you leave Laniapoko on the bypass and you start driving into Lahaina. On both the right and left side of the road, you see where the fire started, right next to the highway. Further than you can flick a cigarette, but close enough, that you can hop out of your car and go to the high weeds about 30 feet off the side of the road and ignite the fire. Because from that ignition point, you see it start going downwind and then spreading and expanding. You see one on one side of the highway, you see one on the other side of the highway, both started. And it's unclear to me which time period this fire was started. But somebody definitely did some arson fires, in order to get the brush ignited. And then in addition to that, we're seeing these signs of the D word, and where steel has melted that shouldn't have, things melted that shouldn't have, and bodies which were charred from the inside out. It's not a normal fire. I've seen not only pictures of animals, dog, but also a picture of a human. And the fire experts look at that and say, no, we've never seen this before. Usually, a charred
Bruce, I'm going to send you those.
Okay,
I'm send you those pictures.
A body that chars, should look like a, toasted chicken, not the whole thing browned. And there's one picture I have. Let me see if I can find it as well.
Is it the one with the braids?
Yes.
That's what I'm going to send you.
Good. Where you can still see the braids on the person.
Of his hair, you guys, of his hair.
Yeah, of his hair.
It's sent. So there's no way. I actually was talking to a 33-year fire captain about this, and I said, "Is there any way you can just char a human body and you can still see the definitions of the hair?" And he says, "No way, no way. That is not a normal fire." And then I was talking to the arborist. Why? I said, "Why? How is this possible that trees don't burn? What's the deal? And the bodies don't get fully burned?" He said, "Because when it's a microwave fire, it actually changes the chemistry of the fire, and the chemistry of the fire doesn't recognize the organic material, so it doesn't burn." This is a graphic picture, you guys.
Yes, but this is graphic, but
this is yes. So you can see his bone. Oh, so sad. This man was alive at one point. It makes me really, really sad. Oh yeah, the arborist. He said that the chemistry of the fire doesn't recognize the chemistry of the organic material. That's why it doesn't burn. That's why it looks like this. So
basically put chicken in a convection oven and cook it with heat, and it chars from the outside and blackens and gets crispy. Put that same chicken and overcook it in a microwave, and it looks more like this. It basically bakes from the inside out.
Oh God.
And left his hair. And it's a very disturbing picture. It took me a while to feel this through, but it's graphic, and we have to realize that we have these weapon systems, and they appear to be used in this situation, because here's like the conclusive evidence.
Okay, so go ahead and take your screen off, and let's just do a quick prayer. And thank you so much for your time, Bruce, jumping on.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you. And when you get those other videos, let me know. We'll do another video. So, Great Spirit, infinite intelligence of all things. Wow, we are really on a journey right now, and we just ask for inner strength for each one of us. And we ask for guidance in our hearts to tell us what is ours to do, what is our kuleana. And we just give so much gratitude for you always taking care of us and you guiding the way through this journey of releasing the evil that is on this planet, releasing the evil that is running the government, just seeing it dissipate in a peaceful way where they show that people matter, that the evilness that is lying, constant lies that never mentions the missing people, that takes the death toll and reduces it instead of the truth of increasing it to the actual number of people who have lost their lives and transitioned out of their human bodies during this absolute massacre. And we just ask for inner strength for all the light beings that are speaking out and speaking their truth, and for those that know that they can make a difference, for their hearts to be touched, and for them to just say, yes, I am going to speak out, or I am going to take this action that I know I can take. We give so much gratitude to them. And to those people who still don't believe and don't want to see, we send them inner strength that their heart may be turned toward what is true, for them to see the evil that is happening in the world and that is destroying our freedoms and our land and killing the people. And we know that this evil is leaving the planet. That's why they're kicking and screaming, because they can no longer be here with the light of the infinite source of all that we are. The love that we have for each other is so powerful and so strong. And we just know that that light overcomes all things. In the name of Jesus Christ consciousness, in the name of all light beings, present, future, past, in the name of the infinite oneness of love, which created us, we know that this is done. And we know that this planet and all people on it, all sentient beings, are in harmony with the Aina, with the land. And we know that we are free. We are free and we are sovereign. And we each are kept safe to do what is ours to do. And Great Spirit, we just know that this is done. And we know you've got this. We take one step every single day toward what is right. And we leave the rest to you, Great Spirit. And we give so much gratitude for Bruce, for on Maui, who has been studying the weather on the islands for 15 years. And we give so much gratitude for him seeing the anomaly that happened and speaking forth and speaking the truth. And we just know that he is always guided, he is always protected, he is always kept safe. And we just bless him and his abundance and the work that he's doing in the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Bruce. And we just say this, and so it is. Amen. Is there anything last comments you'd like to share?
I'm going to show one more photo here.
Sure.
This was a tree that I found, where you see the tree burnt on the inside out on the big one, and you even see more burnt on the inside out. Let's zoom in here on this small chunk right here, where you see the inside is all crispy, but the outside bark is all intact. I was looking for trees. The bark is still intact, but the inside of the tree is cooked. And you see the same thing on the main trunk here, this tree that fell over on this car. So these are one of the signs I'm looking for. obviously the body, and steel that has melted, not aluminum, but steel. Aluminum will melt in a normal fire. So those pictures are not conclusive evidence, but steel melting is.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. So we know that this was an attack, and we do what we know we can do. So taking action, go to standtogetherhawaii.com, click on action. We have 2 more days to file a complaint with the police commissioner on Maui against the police chief. And I've written everything down for you guys. We are also going to be filing a complaint with the Justice Department. I'll have that information out next week. But there's right now talking to your legislators, letting them know what's going on. And that's really important for all of us to do. There's another video that I'll be sharing about the smart cities, and we have until next May to really do a campaign talking to our legislative body about the dangers of what smart cities and what the things that the WHO want to put through. Everybody, and Bruce, so much mahalo to you.
You're welcome.
All
Thanks
right,
for what you're.
aloha.
Aloha.